Do you need a little more adventure in your life? Of course you do, we all do. But figuring out the best way to experience new places can be pretty difficult on your own. And you probably don't have time to make that happen anyway. That's why I trust Travel with Nikki when my wife and I are looking for new places to explore. Whether your ideal adventure includes hiking through jungles and tubing through caves, two things we actually did on one of our last trips, or if the adventure you're thinking of includes a little more rest and relaxation, maybe in a tropical paradise, Nikki can help you find it. My wife and I have worked with Nikki many times, and she has always been able to craft the perfect trip for us and whoever else is traveling with us. On a recent family cruise, she was able to find us some great excursions that were accessible to all of us, even those with mobility issues. And these were way better than anything offered by the cruise line. Nikki really got to know what my wife and I are looking for on our vacations, and that's what makes our trips so memorable. They're exactly what we're looking for. Nikki specializes in theme parks, all-inclusives, Hawaii and island explorations, but she can help get you organized for whatever type of travel you want. If adventure is calling your name, you can contact her through email. Her address is nikki@travelwithnikki.com, and Nikki is Nikki. You can also head to her website, travelwithnikki.com, to see how she can design a stress-free vacation for you. When you do, make sure to tell her who sent you. And now, on with the show. This is Lessons We Forgot, and this episode is called Assume the Best. One of the best pieces of advice I ever received that can help us all be a little happier every day is this. Assume everyone you meet, every day, in any situation, is doing the very best they can at that moment. This was a revelation to me when I first heard it because it's so simple, but it can have such a huge impact on how we interact with other people. When that person cuts you off on your drive to school, you could assume that they're just a huge jerk and that they should probably lose their license. Or you can assume that they're late for work, stressed out, and trying to get their kids to school on time. You will probably never know the truth, and whatever you think about the situation won't have an effect on anyone else but you. When a friend messes up, it's easy to excuse what they did, or at least to forgive them. We know all the stuff they're dealing with right now, and we know that deep down they're working really hard, and more importantly, that they are a good person. Even if they have a history of doing the same thing over and over again, we can chalk it up to the way they were raised, the immense stress they're under right now, or sometimes we just give them a pass because they deserve it. We give them the benefit of the doubt. We assume the best, and we see things with the most generous interpretation. When it's someone we don't know, they don't always get that same courtesy. A person who did the exact same thing as our friend, when we don't know their backstory, and when we don't give them the same leeway as we'd give someone we know, they might get judged with the least generous interpretation. They didn't get the job done because they were lazy. They clearly don't know right from wrong. Or maybe they're just not a good person. We often have this incredibly unfair double standard. Obviously, we don't do it on purpose, but if we ever take the time to see the difference in our reaction to the people around us, we are doing a major disservice to the folks we don't know. When you assume the best in others, no one else will probably ever know, but you'll feel a whole lot better than when you assume the worst. We do the same thing with our kids here at school. They are dealing with so much between what's going on at home, their peer relationships, the massive amount of hormones pumping through their bodies, and the fact that they're stuck in the most awkward period of their lives. We should, and usually do, cut them some slack. But you know who else is trying really hard, giving it their all, and doing the very best they can do at this very moment? That's right, you are. You aren't perfect. None of us are. But you're here and you're doing the very best job you can. In fact, with everything else you have going on right now, it's really impressive how much you got done this week. You probably don't share all of your struggles with your colleagues, and you don't have to, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't cut you a little slack anyway. Even if this week wasn't your best, you should still appreciate how hard you worked and all that you were able to accomplish. I'm sure the people around you actually do. You can't always bring your A game every day, and sometimes it might even be a struggle to make it through 7th hour. Period. There's no cheery end to that sentence. This job is really hard, and it's okay to struggle sometimes. Just remember that everyone here is doing the best job that they can at the moment. Even you. Assume the best, Extend that most generous interpretation, the one you give to all of your friends, and that one you probably should give to everyone else too. Make sure you give that one to yourself as well. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Lessons We Forgot. I'm the host, Chris Winkle. You can contact me at lessonsweforgot@gmail.com, and you can follow the show or message Lessons We Forgot on Facebook. Either way, I'd love to hear from you and welcome you to our community. If you really enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with a friend. That is the best way to help grow the podcast. If you want to hear more Lessons We Forgot, I post new episodes on Sunday nights. Make sure you subscribe to follow the show on whatever podcast platform you use. And when you rate the show, like an episode, or leave a comment, we can reach even more listeners. If you hate ads just like me, I do have a Patreon site, patreon.com/lessonsweforgot, and for only $1 a month, you can get the show without ads. You can try that out right now for free to see if it's something you'd be interested in. Thanks again for your support.